So continuing further, what we have over here is the next term, which is important as far as our design is concerned, the clear span. Now what is a clear span? The clear span of the beam or the slab is the clear horizontal distance between the faces of the supports. Now there is a beam over here or a slab, whatever as the case may be. This is its support on the left hand side, this is its support on the right hand side. Now the clear span is the distance between one support to the other support, the horizontal straight distance between one support to the other support. Now that's the clear span. For all our calculations throughout this subject, the clear span will be denoted as capital L. We will be using capital L for the clear span. Now clear span is the distance from one support, face of one support, to the face of the next support, the horizontal distance. That's the clear span. Very important term is effective span. Now effective span is one of the most important parameters defining the bending moment over a beam. Now look at this. Whenever we find the bending moment, generally the bending moment is found to be proportional to the square of the effective span of the beam. Look at it. We have a simply supported beam with a UDL. For a simply supported beam with a UDL, the maximum bending moment is known to be equal to WL squared by 8. W is the UDL and L over here is the effective span. So depending upon the effective span, the bending moment is calculated. It is not the clear span, but it is the effective span. Another thing to be observed over here, normally whenever there is UDL, the bending moment is directly proportional to the square of the span, the effective span, like WL squared by 8 in case of simply supported. In case of cantilever, it is WL squared by 2. So we have that the bending moment directly proportional to WL squared by whatever, so square of the span. Now if it is a point load, it directly varies, directly proportional to the effective span itself. So please note, the most important term for us over here is the effective span. Now clear span can be easily understood to be from the face to face. Now what is this effective span? How to calculate this effective span? That is very important. The parameter effective span, how do we get it? Now when we refer IS 456, clause 22.2, clause 22.2 defines the effective span for various members. Now it says, in case of simply supported beam or slab, if we have a simply supported beam or a slab, it says that the effective span of a member that is not built integrally, that means this and this is not together, is not cast together, they are not built together, and they don't have continuity over here. There is no continuity over here. There is not built integrally with its support, shall be taken as clear span plus the effective depth, clear span plus the effective depth, or effective depth of slab or beam, whatever as the case may be, or center to center distance between the supports, whichever is less. So there are two conditions given over here, two conditions. It says effective span L, we are writing effective span as small l, it will be always termed upon as small l. It is taken as L, that is clear span, plus the effective depth small d, or center to center distance between the support, half of this support, half of this support plus the clear span, whichever is smaller. Suppose L plus D, the clear span plus the effective depth, is smaller than center to center distance, then the effective span would be taken as clear span plus the effective depth. Suppose the center to center distance between the supports is lesser than the clear span plus the effective depth, then the effective span would be taken as the center to center distance between the supports. So let us understand this particular concept in case of a simply supported beam. What is an effective span with an example? There is an RCC beam which is given to us, It is 300 mm by 550 mm. 550 mm is the overall dimension. It is supported on the left hand side by a column which is 400 mm by 400 mm and 300 mm by 300 mm column on its right hand side. Let us assume that the supports and the beam are not integrally cast. What I mean to say is the connection between these two are independent. The beam and the support is independent. So beam goes continuously to the end, though it looks the fully of concrete. The beam goes from end to end and it is not integrally cast with the column. So there is no connection between the column and the beam. That is what we are assuming. Now clear span of the beam is 3.5 meters as it is shown over here in mm. From the face to the face the distance is 3500, that is 3.5 meters. The beam is reinforced with 3 bars of 16 mm. 3 bars are placed over here in the tension zone. We observe that it's a simply supported beam. Tension is at the bottom. So it is having 3 bars symmetrically placed, 3 bars of 16 mm in the tension zone, and the clear cover over here is 30 mm. We have been asked to find what is the effective span of the beam. As we have said earlier, there are two clauses in this, two conditions in this. One is the clear span plus the effective depth. Second one is the center to center distance between the supports. Whichever is less becomes our effective span. How do we solve it? Let us have a look. Clear span is given to be 3.5 meters, that is 3500 mm. The width is given to be 300 mm. The depth is given to be 550 mm, that is the overall depth, and the area of steel in tension, AST, area of steel in tension, is given to be 3 bars, 3 number bars of 16 mm diameter. The clear cover is given to be 30 mm. The clear cover is given as 30 mm. Now we know that effective span has two conditions. One is clear span plus effective depth, or center to center distance between the supports. Clear span plus effective depth, or second condition, center to center distance between the supports. Now it says whichever is less between the two. Let us look at condition 1. The condition 1, the effective span small l is equal to clear span plus effective depth. We already have been given clear span is 3500 mm. Please note that whenever we are solving, we are using all units as same, though it has been given in meters. Because I will be taking the other units as mm, I have converted this to mm. So length is taken as 3500 mm plus effective depth is not given to us, but what has been given to us is the overall depth. The overall depth has been given as 550 mm. So I do my calculations. I know my effective depth from the previous part. I have understood that my effective depth is given by the formula small d is equal to capital D, that's the overall depth, minus the effective cover. Now the effective depth will be equal to capital D is already given to me as 550 minus what is the effective cover. We have seen in the previous example that effective cover is the clear cover plus half the reinforcement diameter. The clear cover has been given to us as 30 mm. Clear cover has been given to us as 30 mm, and the reinforcement diameter is 16 mm. So 30 mm plus half the reinforcement diameter, which is 8. 30 and 8 comes within the bracket, that is D dash, that is the effective cover. So small d is equal to 550 minus 30 plus 8, which is 38. So the effective depth becomes 550 minus 38, which is 512 mm. So putting this value over here, the effective span is capital L plus D. Capital L in mm is 3500 plus effective depth, which we have calculated over here, is 512 mm. So small l, the effective span comes equal to 3500 plus 512 equal to 4012 mm. Now let us look at the second condition. The second condition is center to center distance between the support. So which means the effective span can be equal to the half the distance of the left support plus the clear span plus half the distance of the right support. Half the width of the left support plus clear span plus half the width of the right support can give me the center to center distance for the effective span. So effective span can be calculated as 400 mm. Note that left support is 400 by 400, so 400 mm divided by 2 plus the clear span 3500 mm. Please note all have been converted to mm in this case, plus right support is again 300, so it is 300 divided by 2. So 400 divided by 2 comes to 200, 3500 comes as it is, and 300 on the right hand side, right support with 300 divided by 2 comes to 150. So when we add these three, we get the effective span another value as 3850 mm. So now we are left with two values. One value from the first condition as 4012 mm. From the second condition, effective span is 3850 mm. 4012 mm, 3850 mm we need to compare. When we compare these two, which is smaller? We find that 3850 is smaller than 4012. Therefore, whichever is less. Therefore, as per this condition, my effective span is 3850 mm, or the effective span of the beam is 3.85 mm. Please observe over here, clear span is 3500 mm, clear span has come to 3.85, though one condition said it is clear span plus effective depth, which came much more, but center to center distance over here has come 3.85 meters. So when we look at the things over here, the clear span is here from one face to another face plus the effective depth. The effective depth has been calculated here. Effective depth is 512 mm, from top to down is 512 mm. The effective depth from the topmost compression fiber to the centroid of the reinforcement, the vertical distance is 512 mm. So the clear span plus 512 mm was one condition. Second condition was half the width of this support, half the width of this support plus the span, the clear span plus half the width of this support. So this has come to 3850. This is smaller than the first condition. So the effective span of the beam is found to be 3.85 meters. Now this is the span which we use whenever we do the calculations for bending moment or the shear force or whatever. Whenever we are using the span in the formulae, we will be using the effective span, and the effective span for a simply supported beam is calculated this way.